truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. Hit like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. Be cool, city lights shining so bright. Fine dining nights feels right. Flights to places far from sight. Get right, ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Underneath the neon glow, life is fast but take it slow. Every moment like a show. Let's go. Dancing through the night, we got energy flows we can't hide. Feel alive, we outside. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Stay cool.
Hey, nobody bigger than the program.
What's up, YouTube? Hit the like button. For today, we're going to bring in new talking points, new revelations, right? Kandra G, Brittany Renner, and a whole bunch of women prove that women, they're looking for a slave. They're not looking for love. They're looking for a slave. They're looking for somebody to pay their bills, looking for somebody to take care of them in every way possible, emotional support. They're looking for somebody to, take care of them in every way that they need to be taken care of. And we're gonna see, right? Women want control. They are the new slave masters. They're not looking for, women aren't looking for nobody to serve. They're looking for somebody to serve them. Yeah, women are the new slave masters. And Kandra G and Brittany Renner is going to prove my point that women are looking for a slave. When they get with a man, they're looking for that man to slave for them, to cater to their needs. When you enter a relationship with a woman, you're basically signing up to be a slave. And this is a very harsh reality. This is a very harsh truth. Just think about it. She wants you. She has all these demands, expectations. You get with her, she wants you to pay. She wants you to sex her down good, really good. She wants you to be her emotional support. She wants you to be her emotional dumping ground. She wants you to cater to her ego. This is what women want. It's everything is about me, me, me. I. So basically, what she's looking for, the guy that she's looking for, is she's looking for a slave. That's why they say they're not looking for love. They're looking for a nigga to pay their bills. Women are looking for men to take care of them, and they're not even giving the man a return. Pay my bills, emotional intelligent, 6 figures, 6 feet. All these are predicated on making their happiness. You're basically enslaved to her happiness. If you do not meet those qualifications continually, she will leave you. And this is why the divorce rate is where the divorce rate is at. This is why the women are leaving the men, because if that guy does not meet her standard of her happiness, which is tied to her emotions, the way she feels, she will leave. Because you're not a good slave. You're a bad slave. She's looking for a good slave. And that's what they want. That's who they desire. Because when a woman is going to look for a man, she's not looking to see how can I make his life better. How can I make him be a king? No, that's not what women are looking for. That's not their ambition. Their ambition is, how can I make my life better? Can he make my life better? Can he pay my bills? Can he blow my back out? Right? This is why they're always looking for an upgrade. And Kandra G is going to show us right here, right now. Keep it real, Kandra. This is why I stand 10 toes down, slave master. Stand 10 toes down. Kandra G's finna stand 10 toes down.
A thin line into cheating too, because people automatically think sex. No,
Right.
it don't have to be a sexual encounter. Like, just, I don't know if it'll be intentional, but it unintentional. Like, damn. Maybe
But let me give you some real talk. Only people that love you for you is God, dogs, and your mama. Like,
Bam. Meaning, when a woman gets with you, the only one that loves you for you is your dog and your mama. Women are looking to get someone to cater and serve to all their needs. And this is without argument. This is not even argumentable. You think she's with you because she wants to please you? In that case, then the divorce rate be at 10%. People be happy together. But not only is she leaving, she's also underperforming. Women are underperforming overwhelmingly in these relationships, these different marriages. They're underperforming.
Like, that's just real talk. You became who you are. Right. Everyone that's attached to you, like, that's your essence, you know, so you almost just have to accept that to a certain degree. You're not really going to know who's there for you unless you got into a position where you're really down and out. Let's say you lose it all and then you have no money, no fame. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you're going to know if a person's really about you. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I mean, you are who you are. Like, everybody's working to attract, like, girls go to the gym to look cute because they want the best of the best. Yeah. So it's almost like you're never going to know that. Just God, dogs, and your mama.
Something.
Huh?
And you know what else it is?
Yeah,
though?
you have to go through something.
I think, too, tell a woman the truth and let her truly see who you are.
Right.
That's how you know if anyone loves you, when you can see me for the person that I am.
Maybe not cheat. Maybe if I, like, lose my legs.
Maybe if you lose your money and you broke.
Or
maybe if you ask her, maybe if you call her and say, babe, I don't got it this month. Can you help me pay my bills? How about that? Like, not everything has to be attached to. I mean, if she can't afford it.
She out of here.
So, you know what's interesting that I hear that often from men who are extremely successful? Is that a concern of yours? Like, do you feel like everyone around you just wants to be around you because of who you are, because you have money, because you have status?
Yeah. That's the feeling.
Does that bother you?
I think you just grow in it, and you just like, damn. You always keep you just always feel like you're looking over your shoulder. You always, it messes with your trust.
Right.
And it's like, damn, you might be sitting there one day and just be like, man, I'm ready to be off.
But you know what, though? I like what you said. You gave a great example. Be honest and see what she does with your honesty, right? Because you got to, for real love, lasting love, if you want to go to the end of time, if that's the position that you're at, You want her to know who you are. You can't act every single day. You can act in the beginning. Everybody shows up as an actor for like the first 30, 60 days. But eventually, you got to take the wig off. You got to take the makeup off. It gets real. Is that person still going to love you? So what I would say, a person in your position.
Women, they want a slave. They don't want no man come and tell them what to do. They don't want no leader. Women are not looking for leaders. They're not looking to follow. They're looking for somebody to make them happy. And that is very difficult to do. Women won't even consider you if you are not willing to go that far. They're not. They want to run the relationship. They want to run the relationship. They do not want nobody coming in and leading them. They want you to give the money when they want it. They want to spend the money when they want it. And they don't want to hear no pushback. They want somebody to cater to their every need. They want somebody to worship them. So they're looking for a man to worship the ground they walk on, which is a slave. He's a slave to her emotions. The man is a slave to her demands. He's a slave to her emotions and her demands equally. No woman is looking for a man who's not going to cater to their emotions and their needs. That man has to be able to do that, to be with them long term. Now, getting sex, that's something else, right? I mean, you're still a slave. You're still maybe a temporary slave. But if you want to get a wife or a long-standing girlfriend, she wants a slave. Women want slaves. That's what they want. And we don't want to admit this. Rufus, if you're too hard, why you say it like that? I'm her husband. I'm her man. Women won't even run your bathwater for you. They won't do anything. They won't go above and beyond anything for you. Why won't they do this? Because it's all about them. They want the relationship to be all about them. That's what happens. The more you be with women, the more you spend time with them, the more relationship becomes all about them. And this is why the happy wife, happy life is the only way to have a long-term marriage. Happy wife, happy life is an act of slavery. You're enslaved to her emotions. And we just don't want to admit it. We want to think it's me. She's with me because she loves me. She with me because she's with me for my character. And she with me because she truly loves me. No. No. She's with you to take from you. That's what she's with you for. She's using you. That's what they're for.
See what she does with your honesty, right? Because you got to, for time, I mean, you are who you are. Like
Right.
everybody's working to
have to be a sexual encounter. Like, just, I don't know if it'll be intentional, but it unintentional. Like, damn, maybe.
But let me give you some real talk. Only people that love you for you is God, dogs, and your mama. Like
Your wife don't even love you for you. She didn't say your wife, your girlfriend, your dogs, and your mama. She said your dog, the dog, and your mama the only one that love you for you. And we want to be in denial. Oh, she loves, and us men are delusional. Us men are delusional. And we kind of want to seem like we have all the answers. Oh yeah, I did this for her, and she's gonna be this for me because she loves just me for me. No, no, no. And that's the illusion which men suffer from. We suffer from the illusion of we think women are looking at us in pure genuine when women are looking at us from a business perspective. And we don't want to admit it. We don't want to admit it.
Compliment in return, even though she may not like anything on the other woman. We just compelled because she said something nice to me, so I have to say something back.
I'm sorry, but Gen Z men are gonna die alone. I was texting this guy and I was telling him like music is one of the most important things to me. And so he asked me what my favorite song was and I sent it to him and he was like, oh, I didn't like it. I could barely get through the first minute. I had to turn it off. Thanks, you're blocked now. The fuck? Like, y'all do not know how to speak to women. Why would you say that? And I know y'all's dads and y'all granddads were some dogs, but they knew how to speak to women.
This generation is wild. That's all I gotta say. It's okay to have different preferences. It's crazy how women will say, be honest, tell the truth. But when
no, because they want you to lie to them. They want to keep you in submission. They don't want to hear the truth. This is why they say women don't want to tell them the truth because they want you to be a yes man. They're looking for yes men to cater to their egos, to cater to their emotions. And if you go against that, like you said, you're blocked. Women have tamed men at this point. They have tamed men. I hate to say it. You better not speak to them a certain kind of way. You got to kind of acquiesce to them, right? Or else they just get rid of you. Women want a slave. They don't want somebody who's a leader, who's going to lead them to the land of milk and honey. They don't want that. They want your money, your attention, your sex. And if you don't do it right, yeah, sure, you can. You cam up. Yeah, women don't want you for who you are. They want you who they want you to be. That's what women want.
Women, we meet you and we're like, our idea and our fairy tale is you are Prince Charming, honey. And then we try to get you to fit Prince Charming. And the more you don't fit it, the more y'all end up in my office.
They try to get you to fit. They try to get you to be the Prince Charming they want you to be. And that Prince Charming they want you to be is to cater to all their needs. And that is, you know how hard that is to make somebody happy? That is a form of slavery. And we kind of try to, I don't know. See, this is what I don't like about America. We don't want to call it straight down the middle. We don't want to talk. We don't want to say the truth of what it really is. We want to sugarcoat it. Oh, this is my wife. So yeah, it's okay for her to be a gold digger. This is my girl. It's okay for her to argue with me and talk over me. Right? We let these women get with all these things. Oh, that's my girl. I love her. But then when we look up and see the divorce rate, and we look up and see the women yelling at men and tell them, check yourself or wreck yourself, then we see that these women want to rule over men. Women want to rule over men. Women are moving for supremacy. They're not coming in as to try to, be someone nice and palatable. They want to come in and they want to have supremacy. They want to make their demands. They want to make their expectations, and they expect for you to meet them, nigga. That's what the women are saying. When they meet you and when you're meeting them, they're looking at you to see if you qualify to meet their expectations. They're not looking to see, oh, how can I make him happy? They're not thinking like that. They're not thinking, oh, you know what? How can I make his life better? How can I be catered to him to make him like me more? Only thing they're going to do for a little bit of that is dress up, put the makeup on, put some nice clothes on. That's pretty much all you're going to get. You might, these women are not looking to please. They're looking to get pleased. This is why the era of prostitution is coming in. Women want you to be a slave to that coochie so they can get what they want. This is why they're divorcing men, because they want to be free, because he's not being a good slave. But we want to deny this. We're in denial. All we sit up here and say, oh, well, there's good women, bad women, good women, 304s. Women are self-centered. And they would never love you more than they love themselves. And women understand that men, we acquiesce more. We bend more. We cater more. I might got myself in trouble again, but we're gonna bring up the proper intro.
You got me confused with your other bitch.
What other bitch? I'm with you every single day.
Hey, Mella.
Hi, is there an echo?
No.
Oh, good. Okay. And I'm clearly heard. The voice connection is clear?
Huh?
My voice connection. Like you're hearing me clear.
Yeah, I hear you clear.
It's not too loud. It's not too soft. It's just right.
Perfect. It's perfect.
And that's what women are looking for. Perfection.
Yes. I agree.
Okay. So men are also looking for perfection. Correct?
No.
What are men looking for if not perfection, brother? I need to hear what it is you're looking for.
Men,
it's not perfection.
Most men are looking just to be attached to somebody. They're even selling. Men are wiping 304s every day.
There's something that's an incentive See, I came up here to talk about this word incentive.
Okay.
With you.
Okay.
Specifically and exclusively.
Okay.
There's a word that exists called incentive.
Mm-hmm.
People are motivated by incentive. Okay? Public school systems do it. Stock markets do it. Like incentive.
Okay.
Humans.
What's up, Lloyd? Yes.
Regardless of their gender, operate, or rather are motivated by incentives. So when you are indicating that a woman requires more incentive than a man, I'm wondering if I'm getting that interpretation right. It would appear that you are claiming that women, quote unquote, require more incentive than men.
Of course.
And I just want to hear this. I just want to hear this monologue. I came up here to listen to you expound upon the concept that women require more incentive than men.
Okay.
When we know throughout history, men are greedy and abusive and crazy and just unruly as fuck. Excuse my language. Like this is throughout history. Wars didn't exist because women said, "Hey, let's create a war." You know, things weren't built in industrious societies because men were like, "Hey, I just feel like building something." No, there are incentives that men took upon as a factor to build society. I've heard this argument too. Well, women, you didn't build society. You didn't build skyscrapers. You didn't build railroads. You didn't do nothing but sit back, cook, and wait to be fucked. Okay? And that's the argument, right? So with that in mind, not that you're interested in putting yourself in a woman's shoes, but with that in mind, why would, considering that incentive is the factor, incentive, why would somebody not want their fair shake if the deal on the table is incentive? Considering that the deal on the table is incentive, why wouldn't somebody want their fair shake? It sounds to me like you want the natural inclination of a human being to deny themselves the fundamental aspect of incentive. So that I say my speech. Thanks for listening. I like being here because you are special.
So allow me to elaborate. So
I would love to hear this.
So incentive are beneficiaries, whatever word you want to use. We understand that women list is a lot longer than men, right? So when men, our incentives to be with a woman are different. I think 3 or 4 differences, right? Some men, the incentive is to have a nuclear family. Other men, incentive is to be in a monogamous relationship and not be alone. Other men, incentive is just for some sex, right? Long-lasting sex, right? And other men's incentives are companionship. So those are about the 4 what all runs down to. But women's incentives is money, sex, emotional support, loyalty, right? Loyalty, sex, money, and protection, right? So those are 4 things that all women want pretty much across the board, right? Pretty much, right? There's a small variance there, but so basically, when a man takes upon a woman, she typically wants him to take care of her in every way possible, right? Where the man is when he's taking on a woman, he's taking a responsibility. He's taking on a responsibility where woman is taking on a beneficiary, right? So that's the big difference, right? This is why women they're incentivized. They're incentivized is that's why the demands is to get the man that meets her demands, her expectations, and he has to meet those things for them to make it to the finish line, or at least across the finish line. And for men, right, we really don't have any other than the fact that the only thing that we, how I want to say this, only thing that we really incentive to be with a woman at this point is the nuclear family, right? That's really the only, I guess, one would say equal value. Kids, right? Kids are priceless. So therefore, the man doesn't have no problem paying and forking out all the money and time to try to cultivate a healthy lifestyle for a healthy family. And his incentive is those kids. Where the woman, her incentive is the kids as well, but her expectation is for that man to cover her expenses, at least cover her emotional damages, also cover her expectations as far as having equality in the relationship, having an equal footing. So these are the incentivizations which men and women are different, like 1 or 2% of the kids. But these things, what men and women are incentivized to be with each other. And women incentives, right, outweigh the man's, right? Because if she divorces him or she leaves him, she's gonna get the kids. If she divorces him, she get the kids and a check, most likely. And she gets to, pick all the things surrounding her life and the kid's life all on her own, right? And then also she gets to save all her money, right? She does not have to spend her money. All the money she makes or generates goes into her bank account. Every now and then she may throw a dinner or two in there, maybe a birthday present, but typically her money goes into a separate account and she gets to stack all her money up while he spends all his money funding the lifestyle for her and for her to potentially be the mother of his child. So, yeah, that is what I believe, that why women have way more incentive to marry men, because she gets the benefit. That's why they want a rich man. That's why they want a man with a lot of money or high status, right? Because they want to be incentivized by those things. Like, okay, I want the lifestyle, right? All I want to do is sit around and be a bad bitch. And that's pretty much what their dream is. Now, do all women get that? No, but that's their motivation. And to them, that's an incentive for them to say, I do.
Oh, that's so interesting and almost sweet. Um, I want to remind you that people on your other channel might try to hit that StreamYard link, and they're not going to connect. So, in the interest of your audience that's listening on the other channel,
Yeah.
please switch over to the alternate channel where you'll find that the StreamYard link will connect you to the panel. Um, you know, I wanted to say that out loud. I also put a movie in a back chat for you called Money Monster. Do you think women are money monsters?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, see, that's the title of a movie that has nothing to do with women. It's about greed in general, right?
Yeah.
And it would appear that um you're saying that women are greedier than men in these current times. So what's the difference between these current times versus the past? Are you saying that women weren't greedy in the past? Is that what you're saying? As opposed to now?
I think women have always been greedy. I just that
Since the
it
beginning
was
of time.
yes, always. It's just that it wasn't as accessible to exercise those things because it wasn't accessible like it is now. Right now, they have access. They can go and be, careers oriented. They can go be, they can go after a rich man, or they can go after, or they can go on the OnlyFans, whatever they want. The greed is now higher form because they can exercise it without consequences.
Okay, you mentioned slavery in your dialogue.
Yes.
Let's talk about chattel slavery of Black people in America for a moment, just for a moment, because I'm trying to make a correlation.
Yeah.
There was a time that Black Americans didn't have a choice unless they wanted to die. They endured suffering, they endured uh, atrocities during quote unquote slavery, right?
Yeah.
Chattel slavery, right? So, so here it is. Fast forward, there are Black people that, um, are highly educated and they can maneuver life better than most. And that is a thorn in the side of those who believe that Black Americans should return to their place of servitude. So I'm asking you this: do you truly believe, truly, emphasis on the word truly, do you truly believe that society would be better off if women just stayed in their place of service, in a place rather of servitude? Because at one time that was their place,
Yeah.
but now it's not the case. Options galore out here, right? So with options galore out here, that has changed the attitude and ambition of women. And I'm asking you, do you truly believe that American society would be better if women returned to a position of servitude with nothing else to look forward to other than being in a position of servitude?
No.
Okay, please you explain.
Yeah, because the world's going to do things happen. So much things are going on other than relationships, right? That are very diabolical. So yeah, school shooters are up. A lot of violence in the streets, as far as drugs and gangs. That women going and being servants will not change that at all, not even a little bit. So no, I don't think society would be better, and that's why I have no problem with the way you guys are moving. I have no problem with the way you guys see. They asked me, Rogue C. Mela, Rogue C is? You know who she is?
I love Rogue. Yeah.
Yeah, she asked me a
Her
question.
persona, her intelligence,
Yes,
just
yes,
her essence. Yeah, I like
yes.
Rogue very
So
much.
she asked me a question, right? She said, Rufus, why are you complaining about us women? I told her, I'm not complaining about you guys. I'm just calling out who you guys are, what you guys is. And my really complaint is to the men of living in their illusion that they think that you guys are not savage, that they think you guys ain't moving on your own gangster, right? I said, hey, do you, boo? I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. So I don't think women moving to try to this or that. Now, I do understand why the men are fighting against it, because most men, I would say, the unified I might be the one of the few that don't really care about it, but there's most men on the, I say 96, 97%, they really believe in the nuclear family. One, get married, kids, one house family, right? A lot of men believe in it. So, you know, I think women don't believe in it. Like they, will a woman get married? But women look at marriage as more of a maybe, maybe not thing. Like, okay, I'll marry him, but if he doesn't, or if I don't feel like I'm getting progression in my life or better myself in this marriage, I'm leaving, right? She always has that intentions, even when she's taking a ring, where the men think that, well, that's crazy. The kids gonna come out better, the better chance for survival in a 2-parent household. And once again, this is why I think women are, moving the way they move, because they just don't want to. They feel that they're competent. They feel that they're intellectual and intelligent, are even as gifted as men when it comes to critical thinking, and they want their piece of the motherfucking American pie. At the end of the day, that's what it. And I ain't got no problem with that. I don't have a problem with it. They want their piece of the American. They don't want to leave. Women no longer want to attach their value to a man anymore. Women want their own value. They want to have their own. They want to have something. Even if they marry a man, they still want to be looked at as, I did this. I'm capable. Yeah, I'm married to him, but it ain't because of him. I'm my own entity. I can do what I do. I can make money. So women want to compete with the men now, and I have no problem with that.
Okay. With that being said, sometimes in life you got to go for what you know, right? You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta exercise this concept of being an opportunist, right?
Yeah.
For instance, here it is, and we're talking about back in the day, because Veterans Day just happened. And what I understand is that there was this quote unquote um, presentation where we'll pay for your university. We'll make sure that you have everything you need for college, university, blah blah blah. Right? However, there was a previous experience of trusting these same benefactors that actually didn't listen to what quote unquote I wanted, right? It was all
Yes.
about being their robot. It was all about, satisfying their expectations. And I examined at a young age what's the common denominator? Money. If I can provide for my own education, I don't have to worry about anything other than how I travel my path. If I accept their money for my education, I have to worry about how I'm traveling a path they designated for me. So it's a control issue, right? And a lot of people really don't like to be controlled, you know, and that goes for both genders. No one, it's fair to say, no one likes to be controlled. So of course, I joined the military under the benefits of affording me an education. What I didn't expect is that there would be a war. I didn't join during Desert Storm. Desert Storm happened to me. Okay, so that threw a monkey wrench in my whole, you know, program. Like, yeah, I'm gonna join the military, get these educational benefits. I'm gonna be straight. That was the goal. But war is a very impactful occurrence, and I brought that up to say, would not that you speak for all men, but just your opinion. Do you think that men are experiencing the emotional trauma of not being able to control women like they had once thought they could? Is there an emotional? Is there a phenomena of emotional trauma that men are taken aback? Like, damn, I thought women were easily malleable. I thought women were uh, easily intimidated. I thought women were just easy to get a hold of. And when it, in these modern times, as it turns out, that's not the case. Would you say that men are emotionally traumatized by the fact that they actually have to respect a woman's autonomy? Because that's what it all boils down to. If you want to get with me, you got to respect me. But there was a time a man didn't have to respect a woman.
Well, I think emotional trauma isn't the word you will. I think that's not the correct term, because men, we don't really heavily invest in emotions. I think it's more of a hit to our ego, right? So I think that's a better, for lack of better words, ego.
It's a blow to the ego.
Yes, that's what it is, right?
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you said, men thought that their masculinity, their toughness, this leadership, all this, right?
What if I told you a blow to the ego is emotional trauma?
No, our ego is not tied to our emotions, because once again, we can go out and delete a whole bunch of people and go to sleep like nothing happened. So men are not a dominant emotional. We're just not. That's not how we're wired in a dominant fashion. So when we look at things, generally speaking, right, on the way women are moving, it is our ego takes a hit, because we think we should be able to control this. We should be able to put this under wraps, right, and make everything go the way we're supposed to. But women are showing that through, like you said, the autonomy, are also the rights given to them by this country and around the world, that hey, we're going to move regardless of how you're going to move. And now men they're having problems embracing that, right? But slowly but surely, let me say this. Let me make this clear: the white man and the Asian, they're already succumbing to that, right? They're with it, right? A lot of them are very pro women, right? They don't. But the black guys, that we're coming as a totality, we're coming slowly in there, like we're creeping up there with the white men and the Asian.
Why are they pro women? If I may interrupt, why
white men and Asian?
No, yeah. Why are they pro women?
Because white men and Asians see women as they're with the women empowerment. You know what I mean? They're the one who literally sponsored feminism, right? They think women should have a voice, vote, and all that stuff. They think women, right? So they're more cater to the women's demands and make the women happier, and they feel like they think like that's the better way I would say.
Do you know why?
Why? A lot of them are simps.
No. It builds economies, Ruthless. It builds economies. The more affluent citizens across the world that occur, it builds economies. For instance, in America, the economy accelerates when women are involved. If women were not involved, economies would not be strong. For instance, dare I say, the war effort. There's legislation that's being changed for a reason, because it builds economies, and that. So it really, the game has not changed. It's about who's useful to you. What these Caucasian men and Chinese men and other types of men who are more established in their ego, what they're looking at is the bottom line. The bottom line is, does this gender offer a benefit to build an economy or not? And yes, they do. So let's bring them in. Let's bring them in. And that's what it's all about. It's about building an economy. And I'm just wondering, is an ego more important than building a gross national product? Like is it like if the whole bottom line is about prosperity, the bottom line, serious bottom line, emphasis on serious. Does it really matter what the gender is as long as that is useful for generating prosperity, otherwise known as a prosperous economy? Like it's about, because you kept mentioning money, money. All women want is money, money, money. Well, damn it, men want money too. Like, don't make it seem like we're some alien factor that's not supposed to understand what prosperity is about. Everyone wants prosperity. You know why? Because there's comparison out here. Okay, Ruthless, there's comparison. When you see, even from a child, when a child sees that, say for instance, a child is in an impoverished situation, God forbid, they're in an impoverished situation, but they go to a public school where it just so happens that children of an affluent family live. And one day, that affluent child invites the poverty child, for a stayover, a weekend stayover. So this poverty stricken child goes over to this affluent house and they're looking around. I'm like, my house don't look like I mean, we cool, we friends and everything, but I am totally distracted by your prosperity. And that is the fundamental basis as to why we all got to go out there and get it. Because what affects the ego more so than anything, you want to talk about egos, fundamentally, I think it's about comparing what someone has versus what you don't have. And I'm trying to get to the nitty gritty of this whole black male ego thing, right? Is
Yes.
are we saying that the black man's ego is based on, I want to control this individual woman, and if I can't do it, I'm feeling some type of way, or rather, I'm experiencing some disruption in my vibration, or
So
is the black man incapable of understanding the big picture?
they understand it, but they are in disagreement with it. It's basically what men are saying, particularly black men, is they're paying for loyalty. They're paying for you to be under their covering, meaning they're accepting full responsibility and also willing to step up and be the sole provider if necessary, or 50-50, but still be the
Okay.
inherent leader to take upon the larger responsibility. So even in the 50-50, I believe most men are paying the mortgages. All right,
I
women.
think, okay, I'm glad you said that. When it comes to priorities, right,
Yeah,
and hoes, three or
yeah,
fours, for whatever reason, you mentioned that three or fours are being, set up, in a preferable situation of prosperity, and what men have found as they set up these three or fours is that they're not loyal, they're money hungry, and that's all they care about. Like, they'll switch you out for the next big ticket. And what I'm curious about is, like, why is it that a man's priority would be to wife up a three or four? Like what is it that, see, that's what I'm not understanding. Like, why there are certain men that are not focusing on the big picture, as in terms of, you know how their union is mutually beneficial, as opposed to, she got a good body, and as long as I keep her in comfort, I expect to have access to that quote unquote good body. Why a man that think that way, believing that there ought to be something more to consider than the fact that she is, he found her on the stripper pole at what's that Blue Magic Lounge in Atlanta or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Why
Magic
why
City.
why is it why is it the priority is whether or not she can do a split on a dick? Why is it the priority that, she got a bubble butt? Why is that the priority as opposed to build a life together? These elements outside of that have to exist. Like why do men forget about the elements outside of the whole physicality, the whole uh shut the fuck up bitch, existence that he would prefer in a household? Why do they prioritize that as opposed to the big picture of building a life, quote unquote, with her? Like does
Because
she qualify to build a life with, or do you
let me
think your money is just gonna be enough? Like
let,
she's
let
a human
me answer,
being.
let me answer the question.
Okay, there you go.
I'm the guy who can give you the perfect answer. See, here's why of late men have been wifing 304 strippers, etc. Because of many years, most men went with the formula of educated, low body count, and all those things that met the criteria, and came to find out that these women were very highly underperforming in the lack thereof of catering to the man's sexual and needs, and I would say psychological needs. So what happens? So men, when they can't get in the house with the wives that they married, the ones that they pick first are preferred, they start going to strip clubs because they got tired of arguing with their wives, their girlfriends, about, hey, why you don't want to?
No, I'm not gonna let you get away with that. I'm not gonna let you get away with that.
I'm just saying this. What men do is, this is why they end up wiving strippers, because what do strippers do? Strippers sell a dream. They're the strip club, right? Is the only place. Strip club is the only place that a woman, and we know it's fake, so I'm not gonna say it's real, right? But it's the only place women will cater to you, right? They'll come up to you, whether they're a bad bitch or whether they're the most bad. They're gonna
For money.
We understand that, but you got to remember, she's catering to the illusion. You get what I'm saying? We know ultimately it's for the money. We know that, right? Right, man. It's just like we understand that woman marrying for the money is not really healthy, right? It's not money doesn't really make you happy, but they still want to do it and they still will go for it. So what I'm saying is, men, because when they go to strip clubs, these strippers are catering to these men, and like you said, for the money. But these men fall weak to this because they're not getting it from the regular women on the street. Ain't no regular women on the street approaching them looking like a bad bitch and sit down and talk to them for like 30, 45 minutes or 2 hours, whatever, and hearing them out and telling and giving them a hug, and then take them to the back and dance on them and rub on them, give them back rub while they dance on them. Of course, she's asking for tips. Yeah, like I said, he's taxed for tips. But here is the thing, Mella. The same woman he paid for, because remember, it costs that. A wife ain't free. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing he paid this woman to do, which she doesn't want to do, he's paying another woman to do, and she's doing it. So he falls for the illusion, and because I'm agreeing with you, Mel, it's not really real. I'm agreeing with you, but to him, for his money and his time and his I would say being neglected, he falls weak to this. He's vulnerable and he goes for it, and then he ends up leaving his wife or his girlfriend, wherever, and going for this chick. And it ultimately still the same shit, right? They end up divorcing, whatever. But the point I'm making is, women are so cold-hearted on a regular level. They're not coming to men. They're not approaching me like, "Hey, sexy, how you doing, handsome?" and giving you back rub and rubbing all up on you in the mall or even a regular club, right? But in the strip club, women are doing that, and a lot of men are falling for this I would say false sense of security.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying you're wrong in essence. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say because it's still the same shit at the end of the day. But
Okay.
yeah,
Security. I'm glad you mentioned that
right,
because
right.
the whole propaganda is that women are quote unquote looking for security. You actually just mentioned that men are looking for security too. They Are we saying that men are interested in a guaranteed flat rate source of stimulation? Like I want the guarantee. I don't it like why should I marry somebody that okay, yeah, she's virginal, she's virtuous, she's lovely, and she's sweet. She's highly educated, which would make a great compliment to instruct our children in a way that they should go. However, there's no guarantee that she's gonna give me the fantasy that I need from time to time. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
A
So
stripper is more
most people don't.
likely than not to secure the guarantee
Right,
of a desire for fantasy.
right. She's the strippers.
Okay.
The strippers put it up front. Here, this is what, and he's falling for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, if I'm
And
gonna
it's like,
pay
so
for,
all I got to do is pay her and she going to
yeah,
do the job
yeah,
that she
yeah.
was doing when I met her.
Because remember, he's
Okay.
paying the wife.
Which I
He's
paid
paying
for.
right. He's paying the wife the same amount of money, if not more, right? But the wife is not doing those extra things, right? She's just like, nigga, nigga, I'm gonna sit here in this house and chill. Baby, I want you to go put on that Victoria and then twerk on me. What, nigga? Please, right? Wives aren't doing that. They're not doing that, right? But the strippers, they are. And once again, he's paying both parties. He's
Hmm.
paying both parties. But one party's over delivering, and the other party's under delivering.
You know, it's weird that men that marry those types of women that they presumed would guarantee a fantasy, they cheat on them.
Yes,
You
I
know,
know.
like so
Hey, hey,
what I'm indicating is that
yeah,
a guy would actually need to actualize an understanding of his own nature before thinking that all I need is this stripper chick over here and I'm straight. But he has yet to actualize an understanding about himself that I want a variety in life, period. You see what I'm saying? Like nobody is committed to cumin. Nobody's committed to cayenne. Nobody's committed to, you know, thyme and sage and oregano. They want the variety in life, and they have yet to admit that to themselves. And you know, they want to go with the program like you're supposed to get married. You're supposed to get married, but in their heart, soul, and being, they have um, a deviating mindset. And a lot of people won't admit that to themselves. Like they need to admit to themselves. Unfortunately, there's stigmatizing words attached to it. Like I'm a hoe. I'm a male hoe. But they don't want to admit that. It's like a man gonna be a man. They say a man gonna be. It's like so. What you're saying is not you, ruthless. But what I'm saying is for people who have yet to self-actualize and understand that that is the blueprint in which they ought to navigate, unless they choose through self-will to, you know, go on a different path. You know, like for instance, right? I'm sitting up here blathering and shit. For instance, take Jay Z, right? Jay Z
yeah,
is married to Beyonce.
right.
Jay Z cheated on Beyonce. Like, if Beyonce can't keep a man from cheating, what is really going on? what's going on is that JC had yet during those times to actualize an understanding that he has an insatiable appetite that's unreasonable if in fact he wants a family. If you want a family, if you actually want a family, that takes sacrificing your insatiable appetite to explore all the spices in life. And until a person understands that, it doesn't matter if she's a stripper, it doesn't matter if she's Michelle Obama, it don't matter who she is. She's not going to satisfy this unregulated, insatiable appetite. It's up to the individual to do that. So while you sitting up here blaming it on women, I think we need to explore the poor choices men are making because they have yet to explore themselves. It's like admit to yourself that you a hoe ass nigga. That's what you like. That's how you get down. And but then you look over here, it's like, damn, bro, over there, he got a family and like he got his kids hugging on him and he looks happy and smiling every time I see him. And he, when I go to the functions in this man cave, he talk about how, oh man, I wouldn't want it any other way. I want that shit. I want that shit. And then when you start exploring, what is it about me that's corrupting that goal? That's when you start self-actualizing. I hope that makes sense.
So yeah, well, see, I understand what you're saying. I will agree with you that a lot of time, in a lot of cases, depending on the guy, if he you can't actually satisfy some guys, right? But now, here's where it comes back to the woman. Well, there's a lot of guys out here don't have options like that. Most women don't want them, right? And these guys are on the market and ready to go, right? These kind of guys will be loyal to the soil, but women don't want them, right? They don't desire them. So then they get the guy that they desire, who a lot of other women desire. And you're right. There's really no way to satisfy his appetite, but they want to. And this is where I'm going to have to put in, this is what goes right with my title. Women aren't looking for a man to satisfy. See, that's where we got to get to the bottom of this. Women aren't looking for a man to satisfy. Women are looking for a slave, a man to cater to them. This is why you see these rich rappers get with these girls, they get married, and the thing about women, this is what I've learned through my, not only just seeing, but through my anecdotal experience, women have a tendency to want to make the relationship and everything about them. Not only just the sex, but the emotional support, all the things that make a relationship run, they want to make it about them. And men enslaving a man's dick, right, to only have sex with them is a part of their demand, right? Their demand that you lock they want to put a chain around it with a lock.
Okay, enslaving. Okay, so basically, you're saying that it's your dick. You can do whatever you want to do with it, regardless of whether or not you, but a man's dick is his own, and nobody has a right to tell him what to do with it. So when it comes to the woman, right, seeking, whatever she can do to make her pussy prosperous, why do you have a problem with that?
Only problem I have, and I really don't, but the only one problem I do have with it, because she's accepting for the demand to be with her, the command to be with her will be she's expecting or pretty much asking a large price to be with her. So men are paying for loyalty, right? That's the return on what she's charging. See, that's the difference, right? Women, they want loyalty from men for free, right? Just be loyal to me. But they're not willing to pay men for that. But men are willing to pay women for this exclusiveness, this loyalty, right? So that's the only problem I have with women. Now, if y'all would say, okay, I'm going to pay for your loyalty, you know what I'm saying? Then Okay, I said, okay, you guys have a point. You might have a winning argument. But because you guys don't, right, you guys are requiring men to pay to play with you or to be at least exclusive with you, then you're saying, okay, by accepting those payments, you're saying in return, I'm making this yours exclusively. That's the price that I'm charging. See, so that's the difference, right? That's the difference. So when you cheat, it's cheating for you because you're cheating the contract which you constructed. But now in, I'll say 2025, the modern era, the women charge for those same things, but now they want you to be loyalty on top of your money. Now they want you to be loyal to them as well in the same capacity for the same thing without the money. So this is where I kind of look at the woman as not being very fair. And this is what makes me say they want slaves. Because if they truly would care about a man's happiness, and because as far as the man paying all the money for them, or, and putting up the funds, they should, if he wants some extra coochie, fuck it. He's making sure I'm in good. You know what I'm saying? He makes sure I'm good. I got all he taking me shopping. He's sexing me down good. He's treating me like a queen. And I ain't gonna pay for him to be loyal. So shit. If he's loyal, that's on him. That's on him. But if he doesn't want me, I'm good. The only problem a woman should have with a man, if his disloyalty or his extra activity hits her pocketbook. Then, okay, hold on now. Hold on. What happened? You gave me this much shopping last week. Since you be messing with this other girl, I'm down this much. What's good? Now, okay, I say that's a fair argument. That's a fair argument. Because now, why am I being affected? My finances being affected. So, bottom line, in my opinion, and I know this is pretty ruthless, women, if they really want men to be loyal for the things, they need to start paying for it. Y'all need to start paying for loyalty. Just like men pay for loyalty, y'all need to pay for loyalty too.
I have a rebuttal for that when you give me a chance.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Oh, thank you. There's a story of a woman who's married to a well-off man. However, she's a trust fund baby. Essentially, she has more money than him, but because he wanted to capture her, and marry her, it was like, baby, it's just me and you against the world. We good. Like, I got you. I don't care how much money you're worth. I got you. And so she married him, even though he insisted, like, you need to protect your money, so we should get a prenup. And she was like, no, baby, you love me. You love me. We don't need a prenup. So they get married. Flash forward. She discovers that he's an egomaniac and all he cares about is possessions. So to him, his wife is quote unquote a possession. He can brag that, look, I have this wonderful, exceptional wife. She is my possession. That's his mentality. So she gets tired of that and she runs across a man who is more creative in his thinking, and she's attracted to him. He's attracted to her, and they start having an affair. And what eventually happens is the husband finds out about the affair. So he sets it up to where he confronts the person that's having an affair with his wife, a proposition to kill his wife, so that and he offers, of course, some monetary incentive. And the guy is distraught. He was like, man, I don't like, what are you talking about? He's like, look, you are a career criminal. Like, I looked up your background. You are capable of deceiving women. Am I supposed to believe that you so in love with my wife that you all gonna run away together? No, you know she has money. So I want you to get some money and I want you to kill her. And he was like, damn. So he tried to cooperate with it. But what eventually happened was he got his friend to attempt to do it. His friend got murdered by the wife, in a stroke. Okay, flash forward. She started putting two and two together and she realized that her husband was behind the whole thing. So, with that being said, and this was a movie, by the way, called A Perfect Murder, or rather, The Perfect Murder. It started. It starred Michael Douglas and Gwyneth Paltrow. It's a classic film, The Perfect Murder. And what I'm emphasizing to you is when it comes to a woman buying loyalty, that's not how women think. Women are not women don't think like men. Women are not out there trying to quote unquote buy someone's loyalty. But according to you in this live stream, that is an option that you would suggest women take to buy loyalty. There's no such thing as buying loyalty. Like
Oh,
a person is gonna do what they want to do, even if they got to figure out some kind of murderous or rather like sinister way to get their way. See, what I'm breaking it down to with all this extra talking I'm doing is when it comes to human beings, there are some people that just want their way. Period. They just want their way. And it's up to the individual that they pair bond with to determine, is it worth it? It's like I'm the rich woman in the game, and this guy, he has yet to self actualize, and he wants to fuck around. That's insulting to me. So, was it really worth it getting with him, thinking that I can buy his loyalty? Hell no, it wasn't worth it. And vice versa for men. Like, okay, she gets around, and I figured I got enough money to keep her, next to me, but she has yet to self actualize, and that's her nature. So, what I'm explaining to you, if you would allow, is that some people have yet to self actualize from understanding that it's their nature to fuck around. It's their nature. That's what they do. It's their nature to be deceitful. It's their nature to be a deviant until they self actualize and choose to correct it. If they don't choose to correct, if you're not wise enough to observe when someone has corrected their nature, shame on you, because they're going to be who they are,
so here's the thing, right?
man or woman.
So, but I'm not. I know
You know
women.
there are men out there that think that women are naturally good mothers just because they're women. That's not true.
I know that, and this once again, right? All I'm saying is both men and women are delusional, right? Both of us,
Delusional.
both of us be delusional, right? Women, y'all delusional, and y'all want the top tier band, but y'all want loyalty from them, right? Which is not going to happen. And the men, we're delusional into thinking that we can buy loyalty, that we can buy or like we can control a woman, and even though she has full autonomy, we think we are. She needs us. She needs to need us, right? That women want to be in the kitchen and doing all this other shit, right? That's our delusion. The reality is for both parties is we're twins, right? At the end of the day, we're twins.
Absolutely. Like one can enact the same activities as the other gender. Like
Exactly.
what's good for the goose is good for the gander
Right.
actually exists as a thing.
Right.
So this media make believe comedy sitcoms, Leave It to
Right.
Beaver, the Brady Bunch, whatever the fuck people were watching, about household women. Those were sitcoms. Those were those were media influences. The reality is that human beings have the same default prioritizing nature of influence and incentive. So it's like I can be influenced to believe that a man wants to have a relationship with the child I procreated him with. But in fact, that man is like, nah, I want to be with the stripper bitch that's going to give me the fantasy more so than yo got pregnant, had a child ass, you know? Because, you know, that a lot of people, they get divorced or rather have arguments or whatever during the pregnancy stage of of the relationship because he no longer has that like take a stripper body like bam ass like wow titties like hey you know all that shit let her get pregnant she ain't fucking you like that what happened to the fantasy you see what I'm saying and this is the disillusionment you're talking about men some men prioritize the fantasy as opposed to the reality of understanding what they got with her for. They got with her for the fantasy, but their influence was media, thinking that I can build family with her. It's like, but you prioritize the fantasy, and next thing you know, she's pregnant. She don't want to fuck with you like that. Uh, not until the child's 5. But guess what? You impregnated her again. Y'all having child after child after child. She don't want to fuck with you like that. And now you upset because it's like, damn, I married this stripper chick and she ain't doing what I thought the fantasy was gonna provide. It's like because you confuse the influence of media with your own sense of prioritizing that all you want is a fantasy. And this is where I congratulate you for labeling it as a this okay, what did you say? It's a disillusion. Disillusionment is a real thing. It's like I can have both worlds. I can have my cake and eat it too. I can have a stripper chick and build a family. No, it's one or the other. It's one or the other. As soon as you get that woman pregnant, shit changes, baby. It changes by virtue of biology. A woman's disposition in which you met her is going to change when another human being is growing inside of her, altering her emotions, hormones, and physiology. It's just going to change. And a lot of men who are disillusioned are not going to understand that. So they need to self actualize and realize like, all I really want is a call girl. That's all I really want. I want a call girl. I want somebody that I can call to fuck me and not have the consequences of a commitment. Men need to understand, and women too. Women need to understand. All I want is a disillusioned hoe ass nigga that's gonna pay me to do what he want me to do,
Facts.
and I'm up.
Bella, that's facts, Bella. I never agree with you more than ever, bro. And this is why I hate America. Because we just don't want to call the shit what it is, right? We all want to go around a motherfucking circle, but we all want the same shit, right? Maybe it might look a little different for the men and the women, but you're right. Women want their bills paid. They want a nigga that's gonna acquiesce to them. They
We
don't want
want a guarantee. We want a
yeah,
guarantee, and men and women they want a flat rate. And it's
right.
like I need to understand this expectation before I embark upon engaging with you as a hoe ass bitch or a hoe ass nigga. I need the guarantee. And a lot of people won't admit that to themselves because it sounds so like just malevolent. It sounds so brutally corrupt. Like at the end of the day, I want somebody that's gonna fuck me when I want. And then on some other sides, I want somebody that's gonna give me the money that I want. You want some pussy, give me some money. You want some dick? Give me some money. Like it's a basic agreement that people really don't want to admit that they're looking for. Now, when it comes to building a family, there are those out there with these ideals. Like, I would love to enchant myself with this foresight that 3 generations from now, my great grandchildren are going to be celebrating holidays with my picture above the fireplace mantle saying, cheers to grandma, cheers to grandpa, cheers to great great grandma, cheers to great great grandpa. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here celebrating prosperity. There are people that really want that for themselves, but that takes denying your selfishness. And a lot of people don't want to deny their selfishness.
I want you to listen to this real quick.
That's what it takes to be successfully married, not being selfish. That's what it takes.
Yeah, facts. So I want you to listen to this clip because I like this conversation we have with Mela. I really value this conversation because this is the realest I've ever seen you be, right? I'm not saying you fake, but I'm actually you just speaking from a place where, you understand and we do understand.
I got to make a restroom visit real quick. I'm listening. Go ahead, talk. I'm listening.
Okay, so y'all play.
It's going to be like maybe 3-5 minutes out. I'm listening.
Yeah. So y'all want to play this video of Kandra G and Kandra, and this is what I hate to say it. I kind of have more respect for the women in the fact that they're letting their nuts hang, right? They're letting their nuts hang. They're no longer lying to men, pretending that they love men, that they're pretending that they love them for them. They're no longer pretending to do this. Women are actually coming out and saying what the fuck they feel, and they don't care who gets offended by it. And that's, to me, respectable because you're standing 10 toes down on what you believe as women. And I respect Kandra G for this statement. And that's the reality. Women are letting their nuts hang. She didn't bite her tongue, she didn't stutter. She said, only people that care about you for you, stupid, delusional, is your dog and your mama. And that's the delusion of men, right? We think that women, when we beat this chick and we doing all this stuff, taking them out to dinner and dressing nice, she likes me for me. She don't want my money. She likes me for my personality, my character, because I'm moral. And what men have to realize, women don't give a fuck about that shit. Because the only one, just like Kendra said, the only one love you for you is your mama and your motherfucking dog. Woof woof. I want Kendra, I want to hear it again. I want to hear it again because I want this to ring through. So she's trying to help Paul Pierce get out of his stupid ass delusion. Because Paul said, oh, if you want to know if your women love you, cheat on her. Nigga, that don't mean, okay, what if she forgives you? That don't mean she's not using you for your money and your resources. Now, I do agree if she leaves you, she probably was waiting for you to fuck up so she can leave. She was tired of you already. She probably most likely got a backup plan, somebody take your place. But just because you cheat and she catch you cheating and then she leaves and she forgives you, argue a little bit, and she stays there because She might be like the way she's benefited from you. She'll never like you for you. Women would never like you for your personality, your character. They don't. They want a man that's going to cater to them, to their needs and their happiness. And this is just a reality. I think men, we have a tough time dealing with this reality. We have a tough time dealing with that women don't like us for us. The dog do though.
Why should? Okay, it goes back to that word incentive. You know, like the human beings and dogs are different creatures. You know, a dog. I'm not going to say that they care. They only care about you feeding them. I'm not going to say that. What? Because I don't know the. You know, I don't know about dogs biologically. I don't know that about them. But there was this whole thing that the only reason a dog is faithful, I'm talking about a pet dog, is because you feed them, right? And that's an incentive. You know, since a lot of men they want to compare existence to animalistic traits. This is why I bring up the term incentive. Like, damn it, I think I did something with my food. Anyway, yeah, this whole incentive thing, I think that's a very pertinent word. I think that's a very pertinent word. It's very important. It's like for all creatures that I'm aware of who have um executive functional thinking, otherwise known as human beings, it's about incentive. You want to ask like, women don't like men like that for real and all this other kind of stuff. It's like, well, men don't really like women like that for real. You
But
all want to control us. You all want us to speak when we spoken to. You all want us to lay down when you want us to lay. Like men,
but
why are you pretending like men
let me
aren't the culprits?
let me let
This
me
is
let me.
what men
Let me
are the culprits.
so
Okay.
here we see right that and this is Paul is the one. He's delusional. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying men are delusional because they think, Ella, right?
Men are the culprits.
But I hear what you're saying. We think men in our mind, right?
Hmm.
That when we do these things for the women, like financially and all that stuff, actually, that she's loving us for who we truly are as a person and not for what we're doing for them. That's
Hmm.
that's the illusion which Paul is trying to he's putting out there like, yeah, I'm just looking for love. The only way you're gonna know if your woman really love you, you cheat on her, which is a stupid act, you know what I mean? Which is not very smart. That doesn't mean anything if you cheat on her and she catch you, whatever. But the point is, Kendra G is just, and I respect her statement again. I'm gonna play it again one more time.
But it unintentional, like, damn,
But
maybe
let me give you some real talk. Only people that love you for you is God, dogs, and your mama. Like that's just real talk. You became who you are. Everyone that's attached to you, like that's your essence.
So I respect that, right? That nigga needed that. That nigga needed to hear that because you need to stop thinking that maybe it's help your ego to think that, oh, I'm that dude, I'm him. But really, you're just another nigga she using. We all use each other, and that's the truth. From Mella's point, we do use each other. But men, we're delusional. We think that y'all not using us, that y'all really love us in deep, in depth, through eternity, until the divorce papers get slid across the flip. until she tells you, baby, I'm moving on from you.
Until you're deceived. That's the thing. A person can actually be, as they say, ride or die for you. But then when you deceive them, it's a whole nother game. And that's
Yep.
what, see, men want to, not men, but the people, they want to put somebody through the test I wouldn't advise that. I wouldn't advise anybody to test someone's um, capacity of loyalty, because that means you never really took their love seriously in the first place. And that's the way they interpret it. The minute that they pick up on the fact that you're playing a game with them, their unconditional love defaults into, oh, we game playing now. Game on. And that goes for men and women. You know, like it's when you find somebody that's with you for real, I wouldn't advise you to play with them, because it won't work out so well. You know, and unfortunately, you know, people, they do a lot of game playing. I got me a good woman. I got me a good man, which means that they got, okay, how can I put this? People that say stuff like that, they know they're not good themselves. And so you can interpret that as, I found a dummy that believes in me. And when you exercise these practices, not you, but when somebody exercises these practices of, I found me a dummy, so I'm going to put them to the test, you might really get your feelings hurt, you know, because they're not dumb. They actually care about you, you know, and unfortunately there are people in this world that take for granted people that they pretend to commit to, that actually care about them, and that's how people get hurt. That's how people get hurt, man.
Let me say this, right, Mela, just to interject. Men, I don't only have probably two listen to me. I know his ruthless truth is pretty hard. It's tough for people and I'm surprised that the men are hard. It's hard for them to accept this, but we have to look at women as business perspective. Women look at us as a business perspective. We got to start looking at them as a business perspective. It's just simple. And bottom line is, women are looking for slaves. They want somebody to cater to them, to take care of them, to do as they say, not as they do. And that's just that's the fact of the matter.
Mind.
Yeah, that's like
of a baby. What could be more evil?
That should be attempted murder.
Yeah, that's child. That's abuse.
That should be I mean,
I can't argue with you at all, Craig.
Because if he's seen that, he get a portion of the answer to his.
Very rare.
Yeah, two people breaking up and going their separate ways is completely different than a woman running the father off. Like running the
father off so that she can control the mind.
Yeah, that's like
of a baby. What could be more evil?
And that's what the women want. They want to control.
That should be attempted murder.
Yeah, that's child. That's abuse.
That should be I mean,
I can't argue with you at all, Craig.
Because if he's seen that, he get a portion of the answer to his question. But also, there's been clips of her openly talking about that athletes are easiest to trick because they're not that smart. Advertising how to lock men into situations by utilizations of your warm insides should be viewed as disgusting.
In my experience, the worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, I mean, you could just an athlete. They're really dumb.
And now because of this new defensiveness of the modern day man, because they can look at women talk about things like that, then no wonder that the women that go for athletes get titled gold diggers.
So Brittany is now begging for $35,000 in child support because she tells judge $5,000 isn't enough for them to live with. If you guys didn't know, PJ signed a $90 million contract, so Brittany's child support went from $2,500 a month to $5,000 a month. Now she's crying to the judge saying, oh, this is not enough. I moved to California and I just can't afford the lifestyle that PJ can give our son. That she's struggling so bad financially that $35,000 will be perfect. Give him to his dad. You admitted it yourself. You can't provide what his dad can provide. Cool. Give him to his dad. He's happily married with a stable family. When you forget that video where you were jealous that he gave your son $11,000 in his savings? A 4-year-old at that. PJ Washington isn't without fault though, because everyone told this man don't get her pregnant. People told this man leave Shawty alone. It's like telling an NBA player right from wrong is trying to tell your homegirl that her boyfriend no good. They're never gonna listen until
she's not gonna get rid of the baby because the baby comes with the financial ticket. The baby is going to dig into his pockets. And
she wants her redemption arc. She wants that. She wants her redemption arc, and you don't. The problem is, ladies, explain something. Let me explain something to you. When you become a single mom, you don't get a redemption arc. You don't. You all can keep holding on to Ciara as much as you damn well please. You don't get a redemption arc. You gonna get the dude that gets you, and that's gonna be it. But you are never gonna walk somewhere and have a group of men say, damn, I wish I was your husband. It's not happening. Not the ones you want. Brittany doesn't get a redemption arc.
Like ever since my ex and I were together and he posted me, it was like, oh, you're a gold digger. And this was before we even brought Zoe into the world. So I feel like people just think that you're kind of out there for what players can offer you, like financially and just all of that.
It's like y'all's thoughts, because to me, like I said in the comments, like it would be tough dating someone's old girl and they just always have that like over you, like.
Say it with your chest, baby.
Yo, the look on Brittany's face is, God damn it. Thought I had a chance.
She certainly is waiting for one more train to come through. But she also sees the odds against her. She hears the murmuring. She hears the rumors. She sees what's happening in her comments section. She sees what happens when she Googles her name, YouTubes her name. She sees what the public thinks.
Now, $5,000 a month for child support, that's $66,000 a year. That's more than like the median income for like every state in this country. $35,000 a month is $420,000 a year. No child needs $420,000 a year. That's almost $500,000 a year. And she's looking at that PJ Washington contract and thinking she should get part of that. But this is child support. This is not Brittany Renner support. So she was trying to plant the seeds for this moment months ago, and then PJ signed his deal last month, and now she's saying she needs more money.
And yeah, she's like, oh, this isn't a joke. This isn't just a few podcasters. This is the prevailing sentiment. And she's trying to speak against it. And the problem is, her talking is not the issue. What she says isn't the real problem. What she does is the problem. The thing she does. Although at this point right now, I don't think there's any redeeming it. We just, as men, we just all know her as the wacky, crazy, biracial chick. We got a million of those. And when a female assumes that position in our minds and in our estimation of her, when we categorize her as that, there is no coming back from that. And when she showed with PJ Washington, oh, you're as vicious as we thought you were. And then after PJ, all that talking, athletes are dumb. Oh, hell yeah, there's no mistake in this. And then the way she showed out in front of the kids, like, oh no.
Ladies, gentlemen of Polite Savages, we are now about to embark on a journey sure to anger feminists and modern women alike. Embrace yourself. This one's a doozy.
Now, Polite Savages, we are not surprised that Miss Brittany Renner is now going for the jugular of getting PJ Washington to cough up $35,000 big ones per month in child support. Taking advantage of a young man's horniness, hypnotized by her butt and getting him to deposit that seed, cuffed his finances down for 18 years just because he had to go and bust a nut. Find herself the shortest path, a shortcut into getting into his pockets. Where an opportunistic, predator-like behavior from Brittany Renner, going after getting her meal ticket, knowing all she's got to do is get a cream of some young guy to be her sperm donor. She knows she can go in and start cashing in on her lottery winnings by capitalizing on a young man's stupidity, taking him to the cleaners for his mistake. But Polite Savages, what we can take away from all of this is that Brittany Renner is all about that business.
Experiences they have. But I feel like when it comes to past and a man focusing on what happened 5 years ago or what man you slept with or what guy you were with, that is thinking when this man stuck his in her, she no longer has value. If you meet somebody that makes sense, whether they have a kid, whether they've been with someone publicly that was in the league, it's like, why miss out on the potential love of your life just because some guy dated her and it didn't work out? They were meant to have a kid. They moved on.
No. So what she's trying to do is talk up her value. She's trying to talk it up. Well, you know the problem with that. Value doesn't have to be talked up. It's self-evident. If you have to convince me that you have more value, you don't have it. You don't. She's taking a look around. She sees all these athletes and stuff like that. Even Shaquille O'Neal's popping in folks' DMs, and Brittany is realizing now, damn, they're talking to chicks 10, 12 years younger than me. And with no children.
I do have a son. Sorry. How old is he? He is 4.
You gotta listen to the things that she's saying and she's not saying. Where the inference is that the minimum price for you to date Brittany Renner is $420,000 a year. $35,000 a month times 12, and that is what you get. The minimum price for you to get her into bed. Now I'm just speculating. Now I'm just doing some shortcut generalized math. But I think we can all assume this is what you need to bring to the table to have her entertain you with a couple rounds. And that is up for you to interpret. And best believe if she wins that judgment against PJ Washington, that amount right there is gonna double for her to even take you seriously.
It's like, why are we seen as like the baggage? You know, like why do we, when it's like a blessing, and also, right, and
Because if I'm being honest, I don't really like dating women with children. And it's not because they have children, it's just I don't live up to the standard they set for the man that they want. Women with children say things that make no sense to me. They say things like, Ryan, I want you to love my child as if they're your own. How can I love who calls me Mr. Davis? Like I love my children. It don't make sense. I love my children to death. Literally, I will give my life if that means that my children will live on. You think, you see how I don't even have to finish that for a lot of y'all? That's a hell of an ask. That is a hell of an ask. You want me to give my life for a friend of a friend. This is...
We know a 33-year-old Brittany is heading into her mid-30s. 7 more years until she's 40. With the last train leaving, the doors fast closing. She is heading right into the danger zone. It's coming to twilight of her career. So she's got to make one mad dash, snag herself a high-value man, an athlete, or an entertainer by convincing Michael J. Porter Jr. that she still got some value here. She still belongs on the top shelf amongst all the other younger IG model thoughts, doing what she can to be convincing that man that she does not belong on the clearance rack.
You have made comments saying that you would never wife someone who has a child with someone in the league. So my question to you is, like, what inspired you to feel that way?
What comments are you specifically talking about?
I think you're talking about when he said that he wouldn't wife somebody that was already
that had talked to an athlete.
Yeah.
I feel like if you dated like publicly like a player, it would be hard just because of, it would be tough dating someone's old girl and they just always have that like over you. It takes a very understanding person to want to take on that role when you're going into life with a woman who has a child. It's something that I've always thought I would steer away from. Could be like an ego thing or like a
insecurity thing.
I don't know. It could be stuck in my ways.
I feel like I see why guys are hesitant with certain girls, because I even see certain girls and I'm like, you make it hard for us women to be taken seriously as like, you know, mothers versus baby mama, or out here for the wrong thing. So I get that because I see it and I'm like, you guys are surrounded by it a lot. True. Because, you know, for me, it's like,
I live my life out loud. Like, I mean, pretty much everything I've done, you can Google and find it. So I feel like you not wanting children, like with someone who already has a kid because you don't have children, is a very different energy than, oh, you dated this basketball player who took you seriously, who you thought was your end game, and like, I wouldn't look at you as that. Like, to me, that's very egotistical. Again, your preference, you're allowed that, but I also think it's kind of like, okay, like.
I feel like it's honestly.
Look, she first starts with a shaming tactic, right? Saying that, well, if you don't choose her as a man, it's due to your own insecurity, right? Like a weakness within you. And then she doubles back on this my past shouldn't matter bullshit. This is like you walking into a place of business to start to work and you say, well, you don't need my resume. My past don't matter. Just believe me. Meanwhile, you twerked on Charleston White. You cosplayed for Kevin Gates, right? Like there's clear information here that you were a bad selection, right? But it's his insecurity.
PJ Washington got that new extension and Brittany Renner ran her ass to the court building and said, listen, 5.5K is not enough anymore. This making $45 million in a year. I need $35K a month. $35,000 a month? $35,000 a month? What the fuck? The diapers made in gold?
And this is a slave master, right? Slave master won't get to work. I want more. I want more. Yeah. Get out there and get that money for me. So she drifted with that kid, had that kid. Now she hit that whip. Oh, you just give me $5,000 a month? Shh. Now I want more. This is the action of a slave master. Women, this is what they are. I'm just saying, right? She's, acting like she's his boss. Hey, I got this kid over here. Now get that money. You go out there, you get a new contract. You get paid, I get paid, nigga. You get paid, I get paid. Shh. Slave master. That's what these women want. They don't want no leader. They don't want a nigga telling them what to do and giving them direction and giving them protection. They don't want that shit. They got 911 for that, for protection. Direction? Shit, they gonna follow their heart desires. Whatever they feel, their emotions and their feelings are their direction. Not you, not no man, not any man. Right? She's with you for you to cater to her needs and her wants. That's what she got a man for. If women think if that man ain't catering to those things that I want and need, she's gonna get rid of you. She's gonna get you up out of there. Period. Them divorce papers will be coming across that table. No doubt. Women divorced 800,000 times a year. That means that man ain't living up to the expectations she's expecting him to be. And don't let her get some new dick. Oh, a new slave, a fresh slave. Oh yeah, you out of there. She's firing you and pick up a new slave. That's what women look for men for. And we have to realize this. I don't know what's the big deal. It is what it is, boo-boo. You're not going to slave Ruthless, though. That's what you ain't going to do. You ain't going to slave me. You ain't going to be asking me to deal with your emotional roller coaster. All this whole junk, crazy shit. But this is what women expect from men to deal with them. To deal with them on their terms. They're slave masters. So I'm in the show. Thank y'all for coming. Hit the like, share, subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Thank y'all for coming. Until the next stream.